lot of terminologies have been coined to describe the potential value of waste materials. Materials in transition, green economy, bioeconomy, circular economy, just to mention a few. If these are true, why do we still have a lot of waste thrown into the environment with associated negative public health impacts? What is needed beyond these words to convert this potential value in waste to something tangible for the benefit of all in society? Once again, Trash Talk will seek answers from entrepreneurs in the space in order to ignite behavioral change. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Trash Talk. Today on Trash Talk, we are talking about value addition to waste. And I have in studio with me a panel of 3 from different institutions doing amazing things, transforming waste to tangible things that are in the circular economy space. I will start by introducing Mr. Simon Agyei Sakyi. He's with Safi. And then I have Madame Rosewa Otuo. Yes, she will tell us about what West African Feeds does. And we also have Madame Rebecca Otuo Serebuor with Trashy Beauties. You're welcome to Trash Talk.
Thank you.
I will start off with, as you know, Simon, they say ladies first. So I hope you don't mind if I call you Rose. Yes, Rose, tell us a bit about what West African Feeds does.
At West African Feeds, we use a special kind of insect larvae to decompose organic waste into animal protein and also organic compost.
When you say organic compost, for those who don't know what compost is, what does it mean?
Right,
How does it look like? Or do you have a common term that you use for it?
Not really, but I'll say the farmers, they know that they use fertilizers in growing their crops.
Yes.
So instead of using chemical fertilizer, which most of the time leaches into the food that we eat and causes health hazards to us, we can alternate that with compost, which is good and
organic based.
Yeah, organic. Yes.
Okay. Well, and how long have you been in existence? 2019. COVID babies. And so far, how has it gone?
So far, there are 1 or 2 challenges.
Which we'll get into, but
yeah.
I mean, how many people do you employ?
So for now, we are 3 in number. Yes.
Wow. And your output per day, let's say in a month, about how many bags or how many bags of compost are you able to produce?
All right, so using the cement bags, we process around 200 of the cement bags.
Wow, just 3 people.
Yes.
You do very well. Let's move to Rebecca. Becky,
Yes.
if you don't mind. Yes, Becky, tell us about Trashy Beauties. I think I've cited a few of your amazing handiworks. Tell us, what do you do? What do you transform?
Thank you for the question. When it comes to Trashy Beauties is all about picking these waste materials, also to transform them into beautiful artifacts that can be reused in our homes. Yes, Trashy Beauty does a lot of products.
How did you start Trashy Beauties?
Trashy Beauties, I started Trashy Beauties in 2019.
Okay.
Yes, during COVID time.
Wow. Are you going to add that it was during the lockdown?
Yeah, lockdown.
Okay.
Because staying home was very boring.
Yes.
And at least you need to engage yourself with something that at least will keep you active. Yeah, so through that God gave me that gift.
Wow.
And from then, a lot is happening.
What are some of the things that you've transformed? What are the products that you've made?
Okay, I've produced a lot of products. For example, flower vases. hamper basket, wedding bouquets, coffee tables, relaxer chairs, towel holders, stereo holders, picture frames, mirror decor designs, and clock designs, interior decoration as a whole, painting as well.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
I mean, I must add, she presented a beautiful picture of mine framed in paper frame.
Old newspapers.
Yes, old newspapers.
Yeah.
Amazing work you do. And how many people do you employ?
As of now, I have 4 people, including myself. We are 4.
You are 4. Yes. Wow. And are you able to sell your products to?
Yes. By God's grace, people are patronizing our products, but it's difficult now to get ourselves out there for people to know exactly what we are having. Yes.
I mean, we are going to get into the details of it. Safisana. Simon, tell us about Safisana.
Okay, so Safisana is a waste recovery organization where we receive liquid waste and also solid organic waste from the industries and also from the markets.
When you say liquid waste, what do you mean?
Liquid waste, I would say simply toilets.
Okay, so fecal matter.
Yeah, fecal matter.
All right.
That's what we receive, and we actually process that into biogas. We have a generator on site that the biogas is converted to electricity, which feeds into the national grid.
Wow.
And the organics from the digester is also treated again to produce compost. Through co-composting, we actually add market waste to it and we produce compost.
Wow. So who are the people who purchase from you?
We have a lot of farmers who purchase from us, as well as some organizations who also purchase from us. So we have farmers around our end, that is the Jida farmers, and also some bigger organizations that do export of fruits. They also purchase from Safisana.
Wow.
Not only that, we also have a greenhouse where we also use our compost produce to also produce seedlings as well as vegetables for some supermarkets as well.
Wow. How long has Safisana been in
we've been in existence since 2017. So almost 5 years now.
With how many employees?
Currently, we have about 44 employees
44.
at Safisana. Yeah.
What are the backgrounds, if you don't mind? What are the backgrounds of these employees?
Our employees, we have about 8 of them in the Netherlands. Some of them are actually, I'll say, R&D staff. Some too are also chemical engineers.
Well, R&D is research and development, yes.
And then we have the Ghanaian team also here, where we have some administrators, some also the technical team, that is the mechanical team. We have the quality control team, waste sourcing team, and also finance team. We also manage the finance aspect of the business, and we have our plant hands who also do the work on the field.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we actually.
On our last, on the last few episodes of Trash Talk, we've had some panel members telling us the use of plastics, and they came in talking about what they've done using plastics. So I want to understand from Simon again, the different waste streams that you get in a day, out of which you separate to get what your raw materials are.
Okay, so with Safisana, our main focus is on organic waste.
Organic
so,
waste.
With the companies, that is the industrial companies that we work with, we actually tell them the specification of the waste that we actually need.
What do you mean? You tell them the specification?
Yeah.
Does that mean if I have I have my typical boiler?
Yeah.
From the household, it's a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
If you tell me you need a particular kind of waste, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, so we actually speak to our clients on segregation.
Okay.
Waste segregation. So with the industries, we receive waste that has been segregated, that is the organics. But sometimes it comes with plastic. Some of them, they have to keep them in plastic. But those that comes in plastics, we try to sort the plastics out. For instance, the market waste that we pick, we don't actually charge them. We send our own trucks. And since we actually also do educate the market women on source separation. So the waste we go for are always separated, and we don't have issues with foreign or contaminants in the waste that we receive.
So, Becky, when it comes to waste, tell us about your trash. Where do you source your trash from?
From the market.
So deliberately you go to the market and say, I'm looking for bola.
I started collecting this trash from my home.
Okay.
To set an example from my home. So I spoke to my neighbors that if you get cardboards, don't burn them because most of the time they burn these cardboards. So I go around and speak to them that if you get cardboards, don't burn them. Your fabrics that you don't need them, they are worn out, don't burn them, keep them. And then anything. And on my way driving home or anywhere, I can pick any of these waste materials from this roadside supermarkets, in Medina, Melcom, China Mall. So when I find myself into these market centers, I speak to some few people that if you get this, you can give me a call. Then I'll just move to your place and then pick them.
You're a brave woman. So you usually would go with your team with big pans, I suppose, and say if it's one of these supermarkets and I've come to collect your trash. Or can you give me your trash?
Yeah, actually.
And people are open to those kinds of...
Yeah, sometimes they become surprised. What are you using them for?
I can imagine. People assume there's something wrong with you.
Especially when I'm from the office, well dressed,
Yes.
and then I'm picking these plastic bottles, the cardboards, old newspapers, putting them into my car. They'll be asking, this lady, are you okay? Certain woman asks me, are you okay?
Yes.
Because you're so beautiful and you're picking all these things into your car. Where are you going to keep them?
Wow.
If you come to my home, I have everything. Eggshells.
So you have eggshells. So
Everything.
generally your waste stream consists of plastics, paper,
polybags,
so
old
plastics of different...
newspapers. Yes, fabrics.
You have fabrics,
Dresses.
you have wood.
I don't deal with wood
You don't deal
because
with
when
wood.
it comes to wood, you are even trying to prevent trees to...
Okay.
Yeah,
And you
so
have glass.
broken
glass, you have
mirrors,
paper.
champagne bottles,
Okay.
Anything
Anything
at
that
all. We think
the
they are
ordinary
waste.
person does not know and thinks is waste.
It's
They've
waste.
thrown
Car
away.
ties.
Car ties.
Car ties.
Wow.
Also,
You go around picking car
car
ties.
ties to the organizers. Because if you look at car ties, they are generating these mosquitoes all
Yes.
over, especially when it rains.
Yes.
So I go around and speak to them. Then I just give them some tip. Then they will keep them for me. They'll call me. I move my car with my team. Then we pick them to our various homes.
Wow.
Yes.
Rose, how do you get the waste that you need to transform it into compost?
So we reach out to food producers.
Food producers.
Yes, so that because we have a
When you say food
particular.
producers, what do you mean?
So, for example, Guinness, I say Guinness Ghana is not a food
beverage.
producer, yeah,
Beverage
beverage
producers,
yes,
okay.
and Blue Sky.
Blue skies, okay.
Take waste from them, and a few other companies, but we realized that we haven't leveraged from the market, so we went back to the market.
Market
Recent-
being the ordinary market.
Yes.
Okay.
So recently we rolled out our first buyback project with Footprint Africa.
Please tell us about buyback. What is buyback? You and I understand buyback, but what does buyback represent? What's that idea?
All right. So as you said, we want to place value
Yes.
on waste. So we wanted the market, the lay person to know that the waste you have, the trash you have, is not waste. You don't have to, you can dispose it of sustainably. So there is a company, the same way plastic, they've been able to, they've been able to put themselves out there. There are companies that receive plastic, and as Simon said, they use the system called segregation. They segregate. So that's the reason why there is a value on plastic.
Yes.
So for us, we wanted to put it out there that there is value on organic waste that you throw away. It emits greenhouse gases, which is very harmful. So as we educate the market women, most of them brought it for free. They didn't have to. We didn't have to pay for them. So
But so every time you've had to get waste for as input, you've had to pay?
Weren't paying, but we had conversation with the pig farmers,
Oh,
which they also leverage from, this food waste in
okay.
feeding pigs,
Fix, okay.
because they also pig feed is expensive, and most of them can't afford. So this is what that's their alternative. Yes, so those are the people we are
You're
battling
competing with.
Yeah.
So now, you would typically, if I were a chop bar owner, you would come to me and say, Madam, can I buy your boiler? Essentially.
I'll say yes when they segregate it, but if
Okay.
not, yeah.
Now, explain to I know on this program we try to explain segregation. Let's do it again. The program is intended to ignite behavioral change. So, in your estimation or in your organic space, what is segregation? What does segregation look like?
So if you have, for instance, you are done with your we are done with the preparing your benku. You put water in for maybe the next day. You take them out. You don't put it in the general waste, but you place it in another container. It does, which you wouldn't find plastic waste in, or even other waste in. Yes. So with that, you are
banku would be
segregated.
separate. But what else can I add to the banku waste?
So your vegetable waste, such as the onions, the garden eggs, your pepper, and other stuff, yeah, tomatoes, any of them, you can add it to them.
So you're saying that all the ones that can decompose are
Exactly.
placed in one
Yes.
space, and then the ones that are not, the ones that cannot decompose are also in another. And how often do you get people actually doing this, separating the waste like that?
All boils back to education, and also being conscious of our environment. If we are being educated from the onset, and we will we will be able to we will segregate
practices,
naturally. Yes,
yeah.
naturally. Yes.
So you get still on your case, because I find your case also very unique, the black
Soldier
fly.
fly.
Yes. So take us through the process of creating compost for you.
So the insect larvae, that's the black soldier fly larvae. When we get the waste, we use the larvae. There is a stage, that's the neonate.
Where would it be by the time you get the waste?
Right, so from the
Does that mean you go to people's homes when their waste have decomposed somehow?
so by the time we collect it, it haven't been decomposed, or it haven't been rotten.
Okay.
So we have a way of storing it so that over time it won't get rotten. Yes. So when we get it from the food producers that we pick from, we bring it to our facility. We use the larvae, the neonates, so they are very tiny at the beginning.
Explain it. So the larvae, in this case, is it what we will call gogomi?
Maggot.
Maggots. So by the time you get do you do anything to sort of hasten the maggoting of the waste? Or after you've had them and you've put them in one kind of environment, they start decomposing? We want to understand what goes into it.
So we have a system called the tray system. That's what we use. So we have trays placed on racks. So we divide the waste into various 1 kg per tray. Then we put in 0.4 grams of the neonate or the eggs into the waste. So over 3 days, it decomposes.
So this is
compost.
to hasten the decomposition process.
Yes.
Okay. I want to. I'm just imagining the smell The smell on site, does this decomposition process come with a lot of bad smell at all? Okay.
So during that process, the black soldier fly neutralizes all smell. It doesn't smell again. Yes. So it smells like sand.
Sand.
Yes, after they've decomposed it. It doesn't smell like the normal rotten boiler that it really smells. Okay. No, it doesn't smell like that.
And you go through your normal. I don't want you to give all your secrets away. Yes, I'm preventing that. So after you've gone through everything,
Yes.
you're able to come up with a compost. How do
Also
you?
animal feed.
It's
Animal
feed.
And cosmetic products too.
And cosmetic products. Wow. For women, skin and all of
Right.
that.
So we develop hand cream.
Hand cream.
Yes, and hand soap too, out of the larvae. So the larvae has a lot of oil when you dry it. So we extract the oil. And the oil have antibacterial and antimicrobial properties. Yes, so we use the oil to prepare hand soap and also hand cream.
And I'll come back with who your market is. Now, tell us, after you've gone to take your waste shamelessly, shamelessly from a supermarket, yes, brave Rebecca has gone to get waste and put them in her car.
Yes.
And people are wondering whether you are mentally
all right.
ill or not, and you have still bravely collected your waste. Now, tell us what you do. Where do you deposit the waste you've collected, the different fractions, and what do you do?
This is a very big, special question.
Yes.
After gathering all these materials from various angles, I just drive them straight to my home.
So it means production is from home. Okay.
Turn my hall into the production room, and then my porch
Okay.
is the storage area. Even if you come to my bedroom, you find some of the materials there.
You should go for it. That's a very brave woman. Yes. You know what you want.
Yes. So what I need is that after getting home with these items, I just need to clean them well. Those that I need to sanitize them, I do all that. Then I place them at the places that
quarters, yes,
that I will need them to still keep their shape for the production. Yes. So it's my home.
And so who comes up with these ideas? Like, I have paper. Today, do you just get up, do you get inspired and say, today I feel like making a fascinator with paper? How do the designs come?
Even as I'm talking to you or you're talking to me right now, I have a design in mind.
Wonderful.
Yes, that after this program, if I have my leisure time, I'll just bring the product out. God is so wonderful in a way that I don't sit down and think about a design. All of a sudden, I'll just get a design. Or sometimes when I set my eye on the raw materials, the materials gives me the designs.
So you get inspired from the materials. Safi Sana, I want to go to your fecal matter material as a value and what addition you add to it. What do you make from the fecal matter?
Okay, so
the liquid waste.
Okay, I would say first when the fecal waste comes in, I would say it's not. You don't see any value in it, but we actually place value in it based on the treatment that we take the waste through. It comes with a lot of foreign materials like plastics and
the
diapers,
fecal matter comes with plastics.
Plastics, yeah.
Where would they be coming from?
Yeah, we normally sort from the public toilets.
Okay.
Yeah, because the whole idea is based on we are actually using the fecal for composting.
Okay.
And with the idea too is normally with the private fecal waste, people normally dump a lot of things into their water closets.
All right.
So you can't control that.
So you definitely, even with the liquid waste, you still have some material in there. You have metals, you have paper, you have glass, I suppose. how does the
so-
separation in
yeah,
that
so,
space, how does it
for-
happen?
For the fecal waste, since we are picking from the public toilets, the contamination is a little bit lesser than that of the private ones. So what we try to do, our system, we have a screen.
Okay.
So when the waste comes in, we screen to get out all the contaminants from that, and it's pumped into our mix pit. The mix pit is where we do all the magic. I'll say the magic
Okay.
of Safisana. So
Yeah.
we don't just feed, we have a recipe. Because we want to produce biogas, we have the various waste streams and the amount of gas each can produce. So as the quality control person there, I come out with the feeding recipe. So I thought them mix this, and the magic is done.
I mean, Simon, tell us. So are you saying that from the public toilets, that gives you a certain quality of fecal matter to deal
Yeah.
with, and then the private households would also give you a different category?
Yeah.
Are you able to sort of, and maybe this is quite a pedestrian question, but we are learning. Are you able to sort of tell the quality of feces that you have to?
Yeah. Yeah.
And which one do you put premium on?
Yeah, we prefer the public.
Rebecca, you're laughing.
We prefer the public because
You
for
prefer the public
Yeah.
feces?
Yeah, because normally with the private, it comes along with a lot of water. When you flush, let's say about 10 grams of fecal comes along with about 20 liters of water.
Wow.
But with the public, the
It's
water
serious
content, so you have
feces,
more of
okay.
the solids in there. But that, even with that particular fraction, it's even doesn't generate a lot of gas.
Why?
The organic
Which one generates a lot more? The public feces.
Yeah, the public generates more than the private.
The private.
But with what we even get from that public, it's on the low.
So then
So-
what are you looking for?
so we-
I mean,
so that's-
excreta can only come from human beings in this
Yeah.
state, unless you bring in, let's say, cow dung and all of that.
So that's why I'm saying we have a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
So the public toilets that we pick, it serves something like as a liquid for us.
Okay.
So we now add the other materials, and that actually gives the high yield of gas that we intend producing.
So in let's make it in a month. About what kind of quantity of biogas are you able to generate?
We normally measure it on a daily basis, and for a daily basis, for our CHP, we are able to produce about 1,000 cubic. But we did the research, and we'll be able to even produce more than 2,000 cubic with that.
So let's just say you've been able to produce the 2,000 cubic, and what does that translate into? What can it power in the studio here? What can that power?
Yeah, the biogas is not what powers, but it's the generator that we use. That is the CHP.
Generator. Okay.
That is the combined heat and power plant.
All right.
And the capacity of that is about 100 kilowatts per hour.
Okay.
So for a day, we are able to produce 2.4 megawatts. And that can, with our research, it can power about 30,000 households
Wow.
in Ashaman. Yeah.
How did you get to connect to the national grid? That's very exciting.
Yeah.
How did you, so is it that you sell your products to the government?
Yeah.
You have that arrangement?
Yeah,
Or
we have
tell us
that.
about that.
I think for the from the Energy Commission, there is a portion that we need to produce as I would say some portion of renewable energy that
Yes.
has to be added to the grid. And Safisana thought of that opportunity, and we saw that gap there. That most of the electricity that we are producing are from non-renewable sources.
Yes.
So we looked at the renewable aspect, and we saw, okay, that fraction is quite large, and there is no one there, so we have to take that space. And
Wow.
that's what but unfortunately, currently there's an embargo on that there's no power buying. The government is not buying any power because we have a lot of energy or power in the system. So it's now difficult even entering that. But
So now
we
when
were
you
lucky,
generate, what do you do
but
with
we
them?
sell.
You sell
We are
to
lucky
households?
because we were already there before that came. So
Okay.
we are
You're sort of protected.
Yeah.
Because this is serious innovation. My heart started beating that this innovation was, if it had to go to naught, then because we don't get to hear about the Safisanes in the country. Now, I'll move to pricing. How do you price your products?
Compost.
Rose, yes.
Yeah.
Rose, tell us how you price your products.
For our compost, 25 kg is 80 Ghana cedis.
It's 80 Ghana cedis,
Yes.
okay.
And for the insect larvae, 1 kg is 25 cedis.
Okay. How many are you able to sell in a month?
Right, so
Is the demand that high?
there is a demand, but also demand meets supply, so the supply also has to be high. So we are in the process of scaling up. Yes, and also let me
Of
put it
scaling
there.
up, yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I know how. So how do you price? I've seen the range of products you have. You've
For
made, and
instance-
how do you price them?
For instance, the picture frame design I did for you goes for 300 cedis.
Okay.
Customized designs also. It depends the size of the products. Let's say
So
small
a bouquet, a wedding bouquet.
a wedding bouquet.
Yes.
If you want a customized one, that goes for 300.
What would you use in making the wedding bouquet?
Okay. Thank you. I use cardboard, old newspapers, and then aluminum foil and glitter foam sheets. Yes, so you tell me the colors of your program, then I will design for you. Especially, I look at your age, then I know the kind of design I should give you.
And so it's a question of what materials you're using
Yes,
and the
please.
time you're
And
spending.
the time that I'm spending. And then the size of the products.
Now, Safisana, I think we've talked about the liquid waste. I want us to talk about your solid waste.
Okay.
Now, the solid waste, obviously we have different fractions of waste in there. What do you focus on as Safisana?
So we focus on the degradable ones.
Okay.
So we don't look at plastics, we don't look at metals, we don't look at papers and the others.
So, but when they find themselves in your court, what do you do?
Yeah,
You send them back?
Those ones, what we normally do is it doesn't come in large quantities, but those ones still find itself at the landfill.
Okay.
Because the whole issue is even with bigger recycling plants, they still have landfills to dump their waste. The reason why we normally go with landfills are we actually have to take the organics out to reduce the amount of methane gas
Yes.
polluting the environment. So the plastics that comes along with our organics, we try to take our organics and work with that. So the organics, we're able to produce some compost with that, yeah.
How much are your products going for? Your compost?
Yeah,
a bag
yeah.
is like what size and then how much?
Okay, so our compost, one bag, ours is 30 kg bag, and it goes for 35 cedis. So the 30 kg bag is like 25 kg of rice, and the small one. So that is the 30 kg.
Okay.
And that goes for 35 cedis. But I would say it should even go up, but because our main focus is helping the environment and also helping the people of Ashaman, that is reducing their waste.
That's your project site?
Yeah, so that's why we actually limit it to that 35 cedis, and that's what we...
I want to move on to financing. These are wonderful ideas. Who is behind your ideas? Who is paying for all these ideas? I think we'll start with Becky. Becky, who is paying for all of these ideas?
My goodness. Thanks to God, my husband has been a very good sort of help to my project. And then there's one man, he don't want me to mention his name, but I'll do. Because if you do good things, you need to be acknowledged. Mr. Bokwe,
Oh, Mr. Bokwe.
Yes, Dread Masters. When it comes to difficulties, and I attend to this man, because of what I'm doing, he's always ready to support me.
So it's private financing.
Private financing.
You haven't had any support from, say, government or any of the development partners?
Not at all.
Okay, not yet for you.
Yes.
But have you had any development partners coming in to support you or government?
Yes. So when we started, we had a support from Ghana Innovation Hub.
Ghana Innovation Hub. Is this
Yes.
state owned?
Partly. I
Partly,
think.
okay.
Yes. So and Ghana Climate Change.
Ghana Climate Change?
Yes.
Who is behind that? Which organization is behind that?
I think that one is private. I don't
It's also
really
private?
know. Yeah. I don't really know, but I know. Yeah. And UNDP.
UNDP.
USDA
Okay.
also came in, Footprint Africa, yes, and a few if I haven't
And all
mentioned.
these organizations came in with
And NEIP,
financial
yeah.
support. NEIP.
Yes.
Okay, they came in with financial support. Okay. So NEIP, for instance, gave you how much?
10,000 Ghana.
10,000 Ghana.
Yes.
Okay. And
And
UNDP
for raw material
for
purchase.
raw material purchase. It's kind of small, but it's a good beginning to support an idea such as this.
Then we appreciate all these
Yes. But
organizations.
so all these
coming in.
organizations have come in to support your idea financially, or you've also received some technical support, training and all of that.
Yes, so from all of them, we've received both technical and training from them. From UNDP, like this, we received, technical from them, and GCIC too. Yeah.
Okay, Simon, have you had any support from the government, development partners, charity organizations?
Yeah, we've had a lot of support. One of them is from the African Development Bank.
Wow.
They actually give us the startup seed to start the plant. We also got some support from
To start the plant?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
that was
also,
about how much, if you don't mind?
it
was a big sum.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
it was
a
a big
big
sum.
amount, but
Okay.
yeah. We also got some support from the Netherlands government.
Okay.
And also, I would say some grants, GCC, Grand Canadian Challenge, and some other investors who also are supporting us. We've gotten some support from the government. I'll say when we're commissioning the plant, they came to help us to commission, and with that,
As in with a speech.
yeah, but with that also gives you
Some
a
leverage,
credibility
yes.
that the plant is being supported by the government. So
Yes.
that's one thing that we also got from the government.
But no financial
No, for
support has come.
finance, I'm yet to see that.
Perhaps it's on this way, it's just crawling.
Yeah.
I mean, but I like the dimensions that all of you are coming in, some through private financing, others development partners, others a mixture. And I'm coming to the household level. Will you then say that as households, on the households level, we should, okay, go on.
Yeah, I think I forgot one thing. For the support, we also got a support from the assembly.
From the assembly.
Yeah, so where we are currently,
Ashaman.
Shaman Municipal, where we are currently operating, they give us the land to operate there. So that is a support that we got from them also.
It's amazing. All that you're doing, amazing stuff. We are going to have to take our parting words, and this is a good chance. I know the issues are so many. We'll have to come together again and discuss this. I'll start off with Madam Rose. What are your parting words? What do you want us to know about your organization, about your efforts? What should the households be doing to support?
Currently, we are taking orders for our pelletized feed, with phytogenics. So, and also we are open to work with organizations who will be, giving us, waste to use it to.
How can they find you?
Right, so
Where are you located?
we are located at Adenta of the Dodoa Road, and also they can find more information on www.westafricanfeeds.com. Yes.
Wonderful. Give us your closing remarks, Becky. Becky, the creative madam.
Trashy Beauties, doors are opening for all, especially unemployed youth. And also we are appealing to the government that they should really pay much attention to young entrepreneurs like us so that we can also be a blessing to the others out there. And also individuals, if you want to set up your own business, please don't stay at home. Just come to Trashy Beauties, speak to us, what you want to learn. We have all kinds of programs that you can also do to turn your life around, to make life comfortable for you.
Yes.
So,
Simon.
Yeah, so with Safsana, we are looking at expanding our operations. Our vision is to set up about 100 plants worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah, but currently with the challenges that we are currently facing is the high cost of transportation, that is fuel prices, is actually affecting us, and we need some support from the government, like tipping fees, because we receive the FICA waste and we don't receive any tipping fee. And we also like the extension officers, agric extension officers, to also educate the farmers on compost application so that they can come to Safsana for more, because currently it's difficult getting the inorganic fertilizer, and we have a lot of compost there, so they should educate them, and so that they can also see the importance of organic compost and help Safsana meeting our 100 plants targets that we've set. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Today on the program we've had Rebecca. We've had Rebecca from Trashy Beauties. Trashy Beauties. And we have had from West African Feeds, Rose Sewa Odro. Yeah. And then we've also had Simon Agyei Sakyi from Safisana. It's been wonderful having you on the program. We'll definitely invite you again to come over. All too soon, we have to come to a close of the program. We promise to return with some creative ideas in the entrepreneurial space and the waste management space. Today on Trash Talk, we were talking to some innovators in the space. And we are very proud of you as Ghanaians and as young people. And we want to come back to you next time with a new twist to the waste management discussion. Catch you soon on Trash Talk.